Well, you probably won't believe this, but I only use a couple of knots for my everyday fishing trips. Whether you're casting the tailing reds or dropping a live bait to a waiting grouper, having a great knot is mandatory if you want to catch fish. Hey folks, I'm Captain George Mitchell. You know, I've made a living for a lot of years catching fish, but more so than anything, I haven't lost that many because of bad knots. Now for me, my favorite knots are simple: a fisherman's or a clinch knot, a sabile or FG, and then a uni knot tied as a loop knot. So the clinch knot's been around for decades and it's responsible for a lot of good fish dinners, but it's only good if it's tied correctly. It's a simple knot through the eye, 5 or 7 turns around the main line, then back through the opening between the twisted and the main lines. Wet it, bucket, and you're ready to do battle. My next go-to knot is the uni knot, and sometimes I'll bucket down, but mostly I'll tie it as a loop knot. The uni is what I'll use on the heavy stuff like these 3X circle hooks we use for tuna fishing. The last use for my uni is in the braid to leader or leader to mono line connection. We call that a back-to-back uni knot. This knot works great in almost all line sizes, but I use it mostly on ultralight tackle and when attaching a top shot to my backing. Lastly is the sabile or FG knot. This is my go-to knot for casting situations where the connection from braided line to mono needs to be smooth. Now there's a few variations on how to tie the FG knot, and I put a slight twist on how I finish it. Check this out. Most folks are going to finish off their sabile knot with a series of half hitches, but what I like to do is what I call a braid back. The braid back makes the knot smoother going out as well as going back in the guides, and it adds strength. Now it pays to retie your knots daily prior to use, especially the ones tied to the terminal end. Hooks, lures, etc. all need to be retied daily, and sometimes after a few bites. Inspect the line for any abrasion. No matter what knot you tie it correctly and you'll catch more fish.